for her to steer clear of any traumatic events, but to mention names, dates, and places that might stir something in her subconscious and provide the key to recovering her lost memory. Occasionally, when he went to visit her and they chatted, he thought he saw a flicker of recognition at something he mentioned, but he couldn't be sure whether that was through what he had told her since or what she actually remembered. And after all these years, the doctors, who'd once been certain that Greta's memory would slowly return, as there was nothing to indicate it wouldn't on the numerous brain scans she'd had since the accident, now talked of selective amnesia brought on by trauma. In their opinion, Greta did not want to remember. David steered the car slowly around the treacherous bend in the lane, knowing that within a few seconds the gates that led to Marchmont would come into view. Even though he was the legal owner and had spent a fortune on the renovation of the house, he was only the caretaker. Now the restoration was almost complete, Ava, Greta's granddaughter, and her husband Simon had moved from the Gate Lodge to take up residence at Marchmont Hall. And when David died, it would legally pass to Ava. The timing couldn't be better, given the couple were expecting their first baby in a few weeks' time. And just maybe, David thought, the past few years of a family history which had gone so badly wrong could be finally laid to rest with a breath of new, innocent life. What complicated the situation further were the events that had happened since Greta's memory loss. Events he'd protected her from, concerned about the effect they might have on her. After all, if she couldn't remember the start of it all, how could she possibly deal with the end? All in all, the situation meant that he, Ava, and Simon walked a tightrope during conversations with Greta, wanting to prompt her memory, but constantly wary of what was discussed in front of her. "Can you see it, Greta?" David asked, as he drove the car between the gates and Marchmont came into view. Of Elizabethan origin, the house sat low and gracefully against the skyline of undulating foothills that graduated into the majestic peaks of the Black Mountains beyond. Below it, the River Usk meandered through the wide valley, the fields on either side sparkling with the recent snowfall. The mellow red brick of the ancient walls rose into triple gables along its frontage, while the intricate panes of glass in the mullioned windows reflected the winter sun's last rosy rays. Even though the old timbers, bone dry as they were, had given the hungry flames of the fire a healthy supper that had resulted in the roof being destroyed, the outer shell had survived. As the fire services had told him, it was partly due to the luck of a huge downpour an hour or so after the first small ember had caught light. Only nature had saved Marchmont Hall from total destruction, and there had at least been something left for him to restore. "Oh, David, it's far more beautiful than it looked in the photographs you showed me," Greta breathed. "What with all the snow, it looks like a Christmas card." And indeed, as he parked the car as close to the front door as he could, David saw the warm glow of lamps already lit and the twinkling lights of a Christmas tree through a window. The picture painted was so at odds with the dark, austere atmosphere of his childhood home, indelibly imprinted on his memory, that he felt a sudden sense of euphoria at its apparent transformation. Perhaps the fire had burnt away the past, metaphorically as well as physically. He only wished his mother was still here to see its remarkable rehabilitation. "It does look rather lovely, doesn't it?" "Right," he said, opening the car door and causing a shower of snow to slide off the roof. "Let's make a run for it. I'll come back for the cases and presents later." David walked around the car to open the passenger door, and Greta climbed out cautiously, her slip-on town shoes disappearing along with her ankles.